This program is intended for a mature audience. If you are not 18 or older, stop listening and find more age-appropriate content. This show will cover topics in a satirical manner. If you are offended by any content herein, that is your own problem. As you have been warned, please do not try this at home, or anywhere else for that matter.
And now, for the most famous words in motorsports.
Oh, hell no!
And welcome to the Blown Pistons podcast. I am GTP Johnny, and in the second position, we have our producer for the day, Geek Daddy.
Just for the day?
Starting on the outside row.
No. Dude, you want me to get pole position? Because I guarantee the wall's the first place I'm going.
Well, I guess you'd be in second position there.
Is it surprising to anyone else that Michael's actually vying for the pole?
Yeah, he wants the pole.
Yeah.
Damn it. Well, I figured I was host, so I had the pole.
We're all the hosts.
This is true. But on the outside row, we have Tiffany.
Hello.
And on the next
in last place, the guy that's definitely going to get the checkered flag.
On the outside of row 2, we have Tony.
Hey, what's up?
And
I'll just stay in the pit. I'll just stay in the pit.
bringing up the tail.
I'll just stay in the pit. Fuck it.
Oh, okay. With 4 flat tires, we have Gary Hammer.
One wants a tail and one wants a pole.
The other one just wants to stay in the pit. Warder.
Hey, gotta watch them Smooth Criminals.
So, how you guys
It's a car show.
Hey, I can eat sushi snacks on the way. You know, that's finger food.
You've been hit by, you've been touched by a smooth criminal.
It's a car show.
Don't you want to go to Neverland?
I just watched that this morning, man. It's a good movie.
Yeah. So
it's a car show.
Yeah, car show. So I had a fun story, a little story here. I was detailing a car and coming into the back of the bench seat of this car, and I see a little brown suction cup thing, and I'm all like, no, that can't be. Luckily, I was wearing rubber gloves, but I found a male appendage inside of a customer's car.
Marital aid.
Whoops.
But
did you
Backseat adventures?
No, tell me you unicorned the car.
I was thinking about it,
That would have been funny.
but I was all like, hey, man, it looked like he came and picked up his truck and everything, and I'm
It was
like,
a guy?
Yeah. I'm like, look, dude.
How do you not know this is in your back seat the whole time you're taking it?
Well, it was tucked
somewhere?
behind it. It was like pinched in between the back of the seat. And I'm like, hey, man, look, if this is your thing, it's not mine. I'm not going to knock
you know
for
it's
it.
in there.
I'm just.
If this is your thing.
Did
It's
you
not
put it in
mine.
a bag and give it to him?
No, I'm like, I don't know if you guys were testing me here or what, but I found this. And so he's laughing his ass off. He's like, dude, that is not mine. I just got this truck like 2 months ago, and I don't know it was
2
there.
months.
So it was either someone from the office playing a joke on me, or it was,
It's his.
Is he married?
He's just saying.
I don't know.
Just kidding.
But it was just,
Not for much longer if he is, or
but it was fun. I got to do a ceramic coating on it, and that was really fun to do.
Nice.
I mean, it shines awesome.
Besides the weird thing you found.
Yeah. I told him about that. He's like, "Can you throw that away for me?" I'm like, "Sure, guy."
Big
I could
bouncing
repurpose it.
around.
Yeah, you want to repurpose it? You know, we can make unicorns.
Ew. I don't think I'd want to
I can sterilize it.
do.
there's a Blown Pistons group meme right there. Just unicorns all week. Whether it's on the windshield or the fucking, what's that called at the hood? The ornament?
The
Hood
ornament.
ornament.
Yeah.
Make it like a BMW. Just stick it right in the middle of the hood,
Hell no, man.
It's already there.
Right?
It's a BMW. Oh.
right?
Definite way to get, those folks that just won't quite get over 65 on a 70-mile-an-hour road to move their ass.
Oh,
Well, that'd make it even more fun. It'd just be waving in the wind.
Right.
And I can just imagine Tony doing a voiceover on that video going,
Oh yeah. So I
It is a dildo, not a snorkel. Put it on a Jeep.
Right?
No.
It's a Jeep thing. You wouldn't understand.
Always be prepared.
That's funny.
If you're always ready, you don't have to get ready. So, yeah.
It's a car show.
So I also I also did a salad for my mom, and I had an opening
Your
on
mom.
Friday. And, yeah, my mom. Anyway, I brought her SUV and cleaned it. And no, that thing had not been cleaned in over 13 years. Ooh. So there's soda, there's coffee everywhere,
Wow.
Just trash. I'm like, Mom, as a detailer, I cannot let you live like that anymore. So I took it in, I cleaned it up for her, completely turned it around, cut the scratches out, and it turned out all right. It turned out pretty good.
Cut the scratches out.
Yep. When a lot of polishes, they have micro abrasives in them, and when you're buffing on a car, you are actually cutting the clear coat. It's very microscopic, but you're still cutting the clear coat because you, Gary Hammer, are a former smoker, so you know what a cellophane wrapper from a cigarette looks like.
Yeah.
That's how thick clear coat is.
Okay.
And nowadays, with cars are coming out, the clear coat is getting less and less. Because, they're trying to save money, too. That's why ceramic coatings are now a thing, because ceramic coatings are now acting as a sacrificial barrier.
Yeah.
And they are protecting the car for at least 2 years.
Yeah, they actually went to a water base versus the two-part.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've been having fun doing that. I've been working with a great company that's very knowledgeable in the area, and their engineer for it's very actually helped develop the clear coat system. So I have a feeling he knows his shit.
I'd hope so.
Right. But yeah, so business is going good. We're having fun doing it. So what have you guys been up to?
Chilling.
Who's you guys?
Well, Tiffany.
Well, you already did the intro,
Mike.
so, folks can't remember that. Well,
Gotta get ready for next week, and then the following week.
No, I'm just saying because
Yeah,
he wants us. It's a show. We got to do one at a time, don't we? Instead of everyone talk all at once like shots from the balcony.
Prospect, shut it!
So COTS is coming up, isn't it?
COTS is coming
Next
up.
weekend.
Heck yeah.
And
Should
what's
be
that
fun.
for the people that don't know?
COTS is King of the Streets. It's a race event for pretty much all the street cars in the Chicagoland area. So the fastest of the fastest will be there. It's very awesome to see.
Will Tony be there?
I will be there, not racing, though.
He's not racing, though.
Pussy.
It's very hard to get into it. You have to...
You gotta get invited.
Oh.
And I do apologize in advance, Tiffany. I know you really want us to go, but I got the Proud Boys,
Okay.
and they are a very, very, very special guest that we are having in studio.
Okay.
So
Well,
we gotta
a mobile studio.
well, we're doing it at a secret location because IP addresses are a thing,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
and I don't want people showing up before a show.
Mm-hmm.
So it ain't gonna be in Fubar Studios. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All
Maybe
I know
next
is
time.
all I know is you break it, you buy it.
Sign. You better make. You
You want a liability
contracts.
waiver? I mean, I can make them for you.
Yeah.
Right. Because my insurance doesn't cover anybody else but me. Anyway, so
Remember, we're trying to keep the secret location secret.
right.
Well, I mean, he has other locations. He has available to him. We know that.
Yeah.
Geek
But yeah.
Daddy's basement.
Eventually, it'd be
Dungeon.
awesome to get everybody
Sanctuary.
from the show to go to COTS because it'd be really nice advertising for the show because there's
Definitely.
thousands and thousands and thousands of people.
How many cots are there?
2.
There's 2 a year.
Okay.
There's a
Spring
spring
and
one
fall.
and a fall one.
There's also an army one and there's a racing one.
She remember she cursed us all out for missing the first one.
Well, if you can get us the
know.
date for the next one, we will probably save a
I
date.
will save the date. I promise.
It's
We owe you that
next
one.
spring,
My
but I'll find out.
My pinky makes the promise.
Okay,
Okay.
because it definitely would help with the show because
it
people would look us up probably while they're there, wondering what the hell we are if they've never
We
listened.
get that all the time anyway when we're wearing any of our shirts.
I've gotten up there.
I've gotten out of
people-
speeding tickets because of our pinks.
I've gotten up there. There's actually a there's a high school band called the Bad Habits. They're
Spelled
their
with a
group.
Z.
Yeah,
Yep.
with a Z.
Yep.
So I get a lot of people, are you part of the band? No, I'm not part of the band.
No, it's with an S on.
It's completely
Yeah, we-
different. I'm not part of the band.
Yeah, I get a lot of hate mail.
Do you really?
Yeah.
From
from
that
them.
band?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, not a lot of hate mail, but there was one I actually was like, yeah, I'm just going to delete this. They were like, hey, could you not call yourselves the Bad Habits Network? I take pride in what we do. I'm
But
like,
they're the Bad Habits. They're not the network.
yeah, you're not a network.
Yeah,
Bye.
they didn't start till after you guys already had it, so.
Yeah.
I know.
So
And they spelled it with a Z on
if
purpose,
they
so.
want to change, then they can change themselves. They are not
You know,
going to
that's-
change a show.
That kind of reminds me of like the toy manufacturer that went after Ferrari for I forgot, it was like Dino or Enzo or not Enzo, but it was after one of the Ferrari names. That a toy company actually went after Ferrari because they didn't want them to get confused. So I thought that was pretty.
Well, I'm just sitting here going, okay, it's a non-point, really.
Yeah.
For us.
Right.
But I understand what you're saying about Ferrari, too. It's honestly, it's all about name branding.
It is.
And whether you do it with... they're bringing back the 90s style of Z, using it that way, and everyone's on their phones while we're talking.
I'm trying to look up your
Got
cots
it.
for next year.
Oh, the COTS for
Yeah.
next year?
They don't have it out yet. They only have it up to 2017, so they probably
I'll find
haven't.
out.
Yeah, it's usually in June.
I always get the invites because I know all the Chicago guys. I actually know the owner of Cots.
Isn't that
so-
where you started, was the Chicago circuit
Yep.
there?
Yep. Chi-Town Racing. Yep. That's basically where I
Hammer, tell us-
started the
tell us
racing
more.
area.
No, I'm
No, but-
asking her.
You had that northern that Uper accent on that.
It was a Chicago accent, actually. I was doing that was my worst Chris Farley, Da Bears.
Yeah.
The Bears.
It used to be Chi-Town Racing. Chi-Town Racing's no longer around
Chicago
anymore.
Garage.
It's now a different website. It's the Chicago Garage now,
Okay. Yeah.
which is Mook. Mook is also somebody I know. He's the owner of the Chicago Garage.
M-double-O-G?
M-double-O-G. Yep, Mook.
Okay, different Moog, not...
No, not G. It's a K.
Okay, I was about to say.
K. Mook.
I was going to say, not Moog from that famous YouTube show, huh?
No.
Yeah,
no.
the New Jersey Italian for dumbass.
Right.
I have a
Well,
lot of
speaking
moot
of
parts
that,
in my car,
I
man.
had two customers come in. There were a
I got a lot
couple.
of mooks on this network.
I had a customer come in.
Love you too, animal.
I had a customer come in with a thick Chicago accent. I mean, this guy sounded like fucking Ray. That from that, or Everybody Loves Raymond Ramon.
That'd
Guy
be New
sounded,
York.
Ray Romano?
yeah, he sounded just like him, but
I almost thought he
That'd
said
probably be
Razor
New-
Ramon.
They'd probably be New York because
Yeah.
He's from New York.
yeah,
Yeah.
but he was definitely from Chicago, and
Chicago.
his wife was from Australia, so it was just
Jesus.
like it was a accent overload. It was like, that's cool,
Their kids are going to be so weird and awesome.
right?
But yeah, so if anybody feels like checking out COTS, it's an exciting event. Definitely love supporting it. They definitely support all the local racers there. So
Yeah. Last fall they had all the guys. Well, two of them.
two of the guys from
down at Oklahoma.
the
Boosted GT,
Yeah.
Sean with Murder Nova.
The Murder Nova?
yep,
Nice.
they were there.
It's the first time he was ever on small tires, so he burned them up pretty good. He had a hard time down tuning that car to the point where it actually would hook. Like he went out for the RSD night the prior just to test and tune. And he burned them off all three times, and then he went down one lap and he burned the tires off.
Hey, I heard tire sales at drag strips are pretty popular. Only has 1 mile on them.
Yeah,
Or a quarter.
Right. Only a 1/4 mile on them. Brand new tires.
Either way, if it's in a burnout pit, Tiffany's moist.
Or drunk.
If it's us, the
Automotion
answer is
child.
yes.
I don't know. I just was making an assumption. Somebody ran with it.
Automotion
Hey,
shout out there.
There's a reason I'm on this show. Either way, there's leather.
This is true. Yeah, in the seats.
What? See, it's not in the tires. Tires aren't leather; they're
yeah.
rubber.
We're not going back to the 20s when they used to use leather in the freaking sidewalls.
Right.
The old bias plies.
Oof. That had to be a nightmare.
That
Actually,
made
they held up
roadside
really
repairs
well.
easy.
They held up really well.
Wasn't that tube style too?
Yeah.
Tube tires.
hmm
Man,
Yeah.
I'm glad we don't have to deal with fucking tube tires on our car anymore.
A lot of the guys that actually run, like the larger drag tires, actually run tube tires.
Yeah, because they can air them down a little bit more.
hmm
Yeah. Hey, I know something.
Well, like for me, I run mine all the way down to 18 pounds. So, I mean, when you go up
That's
there,
pretty
they're
typical
squatting.
for-
I get
yeah.
off, they're up to 37.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
Nice.
pretty typical at a track. to
But are you
run
running bead
lower
lockers too?
PS
no,
tires.
no, I'm only running there'd be a 255, so 10.5-inch wide.
Cool. Yeah, I've been watching this like off-road show, and he's been talking about like, what it means to air down your tires and how it's set up, and it's really cool because the traditional tire sits inside the wheel, whereas the bead lock actually sits on the outside of the wheel,
Yeah.
and it pinches in with the ring, and that's fucking cool.
Well, beadlock has screws that holds the sidewalls.
Yep. So you can air down to like 8 psi.
Yeah, like you got to go by how hot the track is,
Yeah.
ambient temperature. Really depends on how sticky you really got for a compound. Like there's so many different compounds of tires that each track, each road surface, everything you can get whatever you want.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And track prep's a thing.
Yeah, but a lot of the times I go to no prep, so
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of a prep track because that really doesn't. If you're actually a street racer, there is no prep. So
There's
Right,
not-
you're just meeting at a pair of stoplights and
Yep.
Evo, let's go.
There's a certain location that you can look on like Google Maps. I think it's somewhere in like a four-way in California. You can actually Google this like intersection, and you can see nothing but 2 sets of like black marks, like illegal drag racing shit.
Oh yeah, well that would probably be where they actually filmed a lot of the stuff for the 405 group that went out there.
Yeah.
Well, there was that, and then I guarantee that's where they had the Fast and the Furious movies out, too.
Yep. That too.
It's probably. I was down in the Keys when they actually did the second one, when they did the real long bridge run down to the Keys. I actually got to see the filming of that. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, the only movie I ever got to witness was that one with Johnny Depp in it in
Oh,
Wisconsin.
Oshkosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
I
really
got
cool
to sit
too.
in that car. Yeah, that car is a local guy that lives in the Madison area. Yeah, that car's
I was-
cool as hell.
I was delivering to a gas station, and Johnny Depp actually was quite the smoker.
Yep.
And he walks out of the gas station. He held the door open for me. I'm like, "Thank you, Mr. Depp." And he goes, "Just call me Johnny."
That's awesome.
And he stopped me as soon as I was done delivering. He actually stopped me before I left. And he wanted just to say, wanted to say thanks, keep up the good work. I'm like, what the fuck? This small ass motherfucker's wishing me well.
Yeah.
Didn't that same thing happen with a certain WWE superstar as well?
Oh yeah, or former MMA champ.
Yeah,
Brock
yeah,
Lesnar.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking to Hornswoggle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's an Appleton
from-
native.
He's from Oshkosh.
Oshkosh native. Sorry. He's
Like-
doing isn't he part of the midget wrestling thing going around?
Yeah,
Circuit.
Yeah, he started that.
It's fucking awesome.
He actually graduated in the same time I did, so he went to the same high school. He was in band and all that stuff. So like
Right.
whenever we had like wrestling matches or whatever, he was always there. So it was kind of cool to see him grow up and then all of a sudden go to like be a superstar.
Right. It's always always fun to see those people. Kind of like Matt Kenseth would be a good example of that. Like, hey, local boy turned superstar. That's kind of cool.
Yep.
Justin Nottestad, he's a member of, or used to be a member of Matt Kenseth's pit crew. I used to go to Jefferson Speedway and watch him race.
Yep.
And to turn out and find out like, hey, that guy's working on Matt Kenseth's car. That's fucking cool. I mean,
Yeah, I knew his cousin.
yeah.
Yeah, the only race car driver I met was Dick Trickle.
I met a couple of them
Dick
actually.
Trickle.
Yeah, seriously.
Sounds like
As funny as the name is, and as much of a shot of penicillin you think you'd need after shaking the hand.
Yeah, that guy though, he actually ended up offing himself a couple years back.
Dick Trickle. Yeah.
I actually met a couple. I got to meet Tony Stewart up at Angel Park Speedway up in Sun Prairie. It's a dirt oval. That's where he got one of his starts. Same with Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon got his start there too. And that's a pretty cool track too. Seeing those midgets fly around there, not
the
midget
sprint
people.
cars?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was actually
quarter
at,
midgets.
he was at Beaver Dam Speedway a week before we went down for the races there.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they actually had the sprint races there that weekend.
Yeah, they have Corn Fest up there. I just recently passed, but they usually have a Corn Fest up there, and the races once in a while they have the USACs up there. And one time I was there, and they were literally burning rubber on the dirt all the way through the corner, and it was just fucking cool.
Well, they will, because after a while, the surface itself
clay
is
dries
packed
up,
down
yeah.
so well that it
Yeah.
turns almost as if it's a hard surface.
Yeah. But it was cool. I mean, regardless.
Well, 750 horsepower and a roller skate on crack.
Right.
Well, I don't mean to steer into another lane, but I thought we had a... We got something special today?
Yeah, we got a guest calling in.
We have a guest calling in about 10 minutes. Johnny, you were the point of contact on this one. Why don't you tell us about the...
Yeah, his name is Billy Bogus. He is the founder, one of the founders of the American Detailer Garage. Recently just opened up a product line, and I'll let him talk about that, but I got some experience with it, and there's some high-class, superior shit. I love it. And
free samples?
No, I literally paid. I'm like, dude, take my money. Because he's been posting videos of how versatile this product is, and it is just top-of-the-line stuff.
Well, take your money, buy some, bring it here, distribute.
I have a gallon of each in my shop right now.
All right.
Come on over, we'll play.
I don't like how you said that.
Well, I have another detailer friend. I'm like, hey man, because he has some equipment that I don't, such as a Tornador, which is a really cool, combination of plug it into an air compressor and it kind of mixes chemicals and air together, and it's kind of a cool device. And he has what's called a Roops 21, which is a 21 millimeter throw and a DA polisher. Mm-hmm. And he has one of those too, and he calls it Bill because he has a picture of Bill Murray on it. So I told him, I'm like, hey man, if you ever want to come down and play with detailing chemicals, let's fucking do it.
He probably has it on there because of Groundhog Day. He sees the same fucking thing every day.
Right.
Yep, and in our beloved chat room in the barnyard, we just happen to have a Mr. Rich Siebold. Finally found us.
Cool. Welcome.
Hell yeah. I have no fucking idea who that is.
He was in studio.
Cool.
A long ass time ago before we even started the vape show.
Okay.
It was when you were still enslaved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Break the collar off, bitches.
Shit, Geek Daddy's free.
Hey, I never clicked submit, so there we go.
No, we did it for you.
So what else can you tell us about Mr. Billy?
Well, he loves his country, and he has the firearms to prove it.
So he's a gun enthusiast. Tony?
He's a gun enthusiast as well.
We can rock.
We're good.
Yep.
We're good.
Yep. He's got some range on him, too.
Define, please.
He's a couple of times he's taken things out to the range, a good distance, and just popping them off.
Oh, okay.
He's gone out to play a few times.
Yeah.
Okay, when you tell me somebody's got range, I'm sitting there thinking, what is he, a voice actor too? On top of all this?
No, he's not operatically trained.
Fuck off, dude.
Yeah, no, he's and I got the pleasure of talking to him a couple times, and he's just a solid guy. And
I'd hate for him to be opaque.
I just wish they had more range that you could take long shots around here, except for going up to Hurley. I go up to New Mexico. That's
Undisclosed locations are a thing.
New Mexico, Wisconsin?
No, New Mexico, the state.
Yeah, I heard they got a border that it's pretty much a wide open range.
They got
Dude!
They have a 2-mile range there.
Get your fucking red hat and go fucking vote for somebody else.
Wow. That went darker than I usually go, dude.
Oh,
Christ, I just kidnap and torture people, but fuck.
talking about mass homicide.
Nothing wrong with
Target practice.
Technically, it'd be serial, not mass.
Hey, just because the bullets say "Make America Great Again" doesn't mean anything.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
Hollow points filled with bacon bits?
that. I always sign my rounds.
No? Okay.
I like Michael's idea, though. Hollow point filled with bacon bits.
Yep.
So, car show, Billy.
Well, that's before it goes through a cop. No, I'm kidding.
Dude,
Kidding.
that's for the Muslims, you retard.
What the fuck?
You were way off in left field here.
No, he just went Trump support and then anti-cop.
No,
He's an Obama supporter.
What the hell?
I support our troops, and I support America. And
He's just getting his ass open ready for the Proud Boys next week.
Oh, my God.
sorry, that's just kind of where my mind went. It went dark.
No. That's perfect.
You got to remember,
Shit.
former cop.
Oh yeah, I know.
Well, that too.
Former cop, worked with the cops. I mean, repeatedly.
I've detailed a cop car, and they took a month or two to pay, so I'm a little remorse.
It's a city. That's what happens.
Yeah,
They worked at the speed of government. Come on, man.
It's no different than say you get hit by a county worker like with your vehicle, it could take months to actually get the payment out of them.
Yeah.
Usually it takes to the point where you actually go and force them to either pay or go to court.
Oh yeah, I know. I talked to the police chief a couple of times, and I'm like, hey, I did some work for you. Can I get paid?
Yeah. I had a glass broke from one of their dump trucks that were carrying rock loads for a highway project, and I ended up getting my windshield cracked, and it took almost 3 months to get paid.
Yep. And you know those. Speaking of which, I heard this. I listened to this podcast with this lawyer on it, and he said, "Did you know that even though they say stay so many feet away, they're supposed to stay? It's a state law or the federal law that they have to secure their load.
Right.
So if any rock, even though it says that on their truck, they're responsible if that rock bounces off and breaks your windshield."
The guy didn't put the apron over it.
Oh,
Usually
yeah,
they're
that's
supposed to
actually illegal.
They're supposed to have the apron over the
get
top of their
huge
load, and they
trouble for
didn't.
that.
They never actually
Why?
did it. So
They never do that.
Why would you
The
get in
rock
trouble?
companies, they're supposed to put a screen over it.
yeah,
so the rocks
so
don't
the
fly
apron
out.
screen that goes over the top. If they
Actually,
didn't
if
have
they
that
get-
down,
Yeah, actually, if they get busted for that, they can lose their CDL.
Okay.
But they seem to still do it all the time. Every time you see one of those, they never do it because they're too lazy to.
well, they think,
Do
oh
it.
yeah, I'm only going 20 miles. It ain't gonna be that bad. Well, when
Yeah.
you're carrying rock or scrap metal, like we get a lot of scrap metal trucks that run down. I find scrap metal all over my work.
Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous how they are too lazy to do that.
Yeah, we're ready, lock, stock, and ready to rock.
All right, good. I just want
It's
to make
lock,
sure
cocked, and ready to rock, dude.
it's Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels for a great movie.
Yeah,
Or
that's a
Cannonball
good one,
Run
too.
if you really want to get drunk.
Cannonball Run.
Hey, did we address why Dave's not here yet?
Not quite, because it's kind of a family issue. You know, he was supposed to take off later this afternoon to go fix a relative's vehicle, and unfortunately, they kind of needed it right fucking now.
Right, so that's why Dave's not here, man.
Well, you know the name of today's episodes, right?
What is it?
When Gremlins Away.
Oh, Jesus. As long as it's not, you guys killed me in that episode.
Uh-huh.
The one where I had to fucking miss studio action because I had to take the missus to the hospital for an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
Just sitting there listening to it in the hospital while we wait. She's like, Jesus Christ, they're going to town on you.
Well, hey, lube's
It was
the
a good
thing.
time.
We had it ready for you when he got back. It was warmed up at least.
This be true.
There's
And
no
Tony's
loving
like,
like an
"What
apple
the fuck?"
pie from the oven.
How did you meet Billy?
I met Billy through another podcast I listened to about detailing it. They mentioned, or he was on there, and I've heard about it before. Like I remember a couple years ago about hearing about this group, so I decided to join it. And then we got the business. Well, we got the business going. So I decided, okay, well, I'm going to join this group.
Right.
And it's really nice group because it's pretty safe to post in there. Like you're not going to get trolled or you're not going to get made fun of for asking, the simplest of questions. They're there to support you, and that's kind of what the group's about. And they have a zero policy of bullshit there.
Zero tolerance policy.
Yeah,
Okay.
zero tolerance of bullshit. Really, like if you're fucking bashing on someone, you're fucking out. No question.
Yeah, I've been on that
Is it
before.
called wax on, wax off?
No, it's called American Detailer Garage.
Oh.
If I ran it, it would just be wax off.
Jesus Christ. I'm crazy.
All right. Well, it is about that time for our very special guest, so let's try to make sure this actually fucking works. As I'm now calling him. And his device is busy.
Oh, shit. He is a busy guy, man. He is
That's
a busy
all right.
guy.
That is all right.
How do you have a
These
device
things-
that's busy with call waiting?
No. It's
No.
Facebook Messenger and
Yeah.
also other Skype things. So
And let's just say this guy's.
if you're like in the middle of a phone call, Messenger doesn't fuck with you.
This
All
guy
right.
does get a lot of calls and a lot of texts
Yeah,
today.
you know what? Just text him. Be like, hey, we're ready when you are. Please call us via Facebook Messenger.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, he's a really good guy, and the group has been pretty awesome. The group, man, the group's been pretty awesome. It's
Sorry,
it's helped our business
In
out,
spirit
so.
of Gremlin, I'll just be like, hey, Johnny, I'll just sneak by you so we can go to the bathroom while you're on air.
Yeah, you wanna?
Yeah,
Can I use your bathroom?
dude, I'm in the middle of an interview. Yeah, can I use the bathroom?
Or that axle's not gonna work.
Here, since all you need to do is click the button, I'll let you take control.
Yay!
It's his phone. I'm
So as we're chatting, Tiffany did bring up to my attention about because Johnny mentioned a Ferrari reference earlier. Tiffany brought up a nice fact to me.
You mean her brand new Subaru?
No.
No, it's not a Ferrari.
Faster than a Ferrari.
No.
Ferraris are slow.
Not
I watched it go up against the freaking farm truck, and farm truck spanked him by probably almost 10 car lengths.
Yeah, but it depends on
Which
what
farm
Ferrari.
truck?
Yeah,
There
that's a
is
good
only one
question.
farm truck.
Exactly. That thing could smoke just about anything on Earth.
No.
No.
He's the slowest one on.
He's
that-
probably like
out of
an
that
8-second, like quarter-mile runner.
The fucker smoked a Ferrari carrying a boat. Come on.
No. The Ferrari was a Ferrari by itself. It was just.
Okay, what are you talking
to
about?
head.
No. The farm truck was pulling the boat.
What are you
Oh
talking
yeah,
about?
yeah.
The farm boat? The farm truck? What?
Yeah.
Street Outlaws.
Street Outlaws? See,
Yeah.
I did not know. Did we talk about this before? Was I not here in studio for this one?
No.
No.
Okay.
No, we're just bringing up
Oh,
Street
no.
Outlaws.
Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Hey, Michael, unmute.
It's unmuted.
Turn it up. And the gain.
It's all up.
Billy, can you hear me? Billy?
Hey, Beavis.
Yeah, I can hear
Turn
you.
your volume up.
You're
on
real
your phone,
low, but I
Johnny.
can hear
Oh,
you.
well, man. Billy.
What in the blank is going on?
Yeah,
Very odd.
All right, man. Hang on. I just unplugged it for a minute. We're trying to get
Yeah,
this.
this moment of interruption brought to you in part by Blown Pistons, trying to figure shit out since day one.
are you good, man? I'm here.
Hey, there
Oh,
he is.
there he is. You all good, Billy?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Hey, Billy, welcome to the Blowing Pistons podcast
Well, thanks for having me, brother. Thank you.
What, is it on a certain network, Johnny?
on the Bad Habits Network.
Thank you.
Found on, you'll be able to find this show on the Spreaker.
Facebook is the easiest thing to
Facebook,
find
too.
anything, as well as www.badhabitsnetwork.net. Fired, Johnny.
Right. All right, Billy.
Oh.
I hope you're having a good day. So we just brought you on to talk about what you've been doing and a little bit about the American Detailer Garage.
Yeah, it definitely keeps me busy. I've got the shop and the job and the business for the American Detailer Garage, so we're definitely either on the phone working or trying to message people back. So it is definitely a busy operation. It may not be very big, but very busy.
Yeah. So, as you know, I was able to purchase some of your product, and it's definitely got a permanent home in my shop.
What's the product?
Well, I'll let Billy talk about the two that you just released. If you want to go into that, Billy.
Sure, John. Yeah, well, thank you for that. Oh, we released. Well, I'll start with F-Bomb. It's easier. F-Bomb really came by accident, but we were wanting a degreaser multi-purpose cleaner that was going to be safe on paint. Basically, you can't mess it up, but it's still going to have the same effectiveness as a full-on degreaser. Now, that's kind of a caveat because a full-on degreaser obviously is a higher up alkaline than F-Bomb is, but we wanted something that was pretty well universal that you couldn't mess up. And we came up with F-Bomb, and that's our multi-purpose cleaner that doesn't know its own strength. So it's not, by definition, it's not a degreaser. It's just a multi-purpose cleaner, soap-based. So that way it's safe on glass, safe on paint. As long as you use common sense, you can't mess it up. Alongside of that, I wanted a wash product. See, Meguiar's discontinued D114, and nobody knows this. I'm going to say it to you guys for the first time, I guess. But Meguiar's, they had D114, their rinseless wash product, and I was a huge fan. And they discontinued that product. And so I was like, well, I want to find, something that works. And I kept trying wash products. I just really didn't have anything I really loved. I just didn't,
Mm-hmm.
So we started formulating our own, and we went through several variants of it. But this wash product had to be a product that worked fabulous on glass. It had to be a great glass cleaner. It had to work well on paint. You can't mess it up. It had to have, it had to be very concentrated with different dilution ratios that would work across the board, because I think that's the industry standard going forward as far as a wash product goes. So we started testing, and we eventually came out with Wipeout Hybrid Wash.
Yep.
And we call it hybrid wash because of the multiple things that it can do. As far as you can use it for a water, you can use it for a clay lube, you can use it for a rinseless wash. It's a wonderful glass cleaner. Very, very good. We got everything we wanted in a bottle. In fact, I use the term, you can't be all things to all people, but we sure tried. We put it in a bottle.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we have.
And
The
I can
beautiful thing
certainly,
about the two products.
I can certainly
I'm
attest
sorry,
to
go
that. I can certainly attest to that, man. That hybrid wash on glass, no streaks, and I swear to God, it makes the windows shiny. It does. It's beautiful.
I'm going to use it on my motorcycle.
Yeah, I got some.
I got to use it on my motorcycle.
And go on.
It's just incredible. And the two products you can use together, wipe out and F-bomb. But I went through a slump here, I don't know, maybe 5-6 months ago, and I've been doing this for 20 years, detailing cars, and I went through a slump where I just couldn't get my windows right. You know, and
well, if you quit driving it,
if you
don't drive it through Otter Creek Park, you won't have those problems.
Exactly. You know, I'm right up the road from Otter Creek, like 5 miles.
I make fun of that place a lot.
But,
really?
Yeah. Actually, Billy here used to be a truck driver before he started this.
What? Get out of town.
Yeah, I drove a truck for 18 years. You want me to tell the whole story?
Yes.
Sure.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, going back to the younger year, you know, I worked in detail shop at the dealerships. I went and got a factory job because I wanted to be able to buy some of these cars that I was detailing. I was like, well, you know, this doesn't pay anything, so I get a factory job. I learned very quick that you get laid off at times and everything's seniority, and the shithead above you, you know, may have more seniority and you might be a better worker, but he has more seniority. That wasn't for me. I decided to go drive a truck early in my early 20s. And so I went to driving a truck, did that for the better part of 18 years, and hauled pretty much everything from gas to military tanks to pallets to you name it, we've hauled it.
Mm-hmm. Is he still with us?
I think so. Check your phone.
Hello?
Yeah.
I was going to say, oh, there he is. I heard him.
Okay. Did I lose you?
Yeah, cut
there
off
he is.
for a minute there.
Okay. So, well, I'll just kind of recap. So, you know, driving a truck and I hauled all kinds of different things. On the side of driving a truck, I always detailed cars. I always had a passion for detailing cars. And on the side from driving a truck, I picked up a car lot here and a car lot there. And I was doing retail work and just doing all kinds of cool stuff. But October 2016, I got a phone call from a local Chevrolet dealership that their shop had burned down, and they wanted to know if I could detail 30 to 40 cars a month.
Jesus.
For them. And I'm like, you know, I said, why don't we get together after, because driving a truck is long hours. I was putting in 13, 14 hours a day. You know, and to do this was almost impossible. So I wanted to know that we were going to have something long term.
Right.
And I almost turned it down. So I met up with them. They're like 30 to 40 cars a month. You know, not a problem. Our shop burned down. We don't have anybody detail cars.
Okay.
And I detailed about 10 cars, and they called me up to the dealership, and they're like, when we rebuild the shop, we want you to come run the shop. And I just kind of laughed. You know, I'm like, okay. You know, I've been around dealerships all my life. I know how you guys operate. I know how you guys are. They're like, no, seriously, we want you to come run our shop. So I ended up leaving the job that I was at, working 13 hours a day, to another job, driving a truck, hauling mail, and I was working about 7 hours a day because I needed more time to detail cars. So when I switched to the other job, working 7 hours a day, I was working about 20 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
Holy Christ.
Between driving a truck and doing the detailing. I was running 20 hours a day, sleeping 3 or 4 hours a night, and you know, and still at the same time trying to gather intel and work on the chemical line that nobody at the time knew anything about yet.
Mm-hmm.
So it all ended. I was headed to work one morning. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was headed to work, and I fell asleep at a red light. You know, I dozed off at a red light, probably a 30-second red light. There's nobody on the road, and I started to fall asleep, doze off. Caught myself, and I said, you know, this isn't working. I've got to do something. I had lost a bunch of weight. And I went down to the dealership, and I said, you know, here's I can't do this. Something's got to go. And so they told me what they wanted out of me. We talked about money and this and that, and I took the job at the dealership. I worked out of my own shop for a couple of months solely before they had rebuilt the new building.
Okay.
Then I went to work for them running their shop. And so February of 2017 was the last time I'd been behind the wheel of the 18-wheeler.
Dare I say I'm envious. I'm still trying to get out. I'm still trying to get out from behind mine.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm telling you what. Right before you called me, I was actually talking to a buddy of mine headed to Canada. He hauls trucks, like the piggyback trucks you see going down the road.
Yeah.
We talk every once in a while, and I was just talking to him a second ago. But he asked me if I missed it. I said, nah, I really don't, man. it was a great career, but with the politics and the regulations and stuff they put on them anymore, that it wasn't worth it. So, been out of the truck since February, and I wouldn't trade this for anything.
Yeah, I can relate, man. I just left my full-time job to run my own shop full-time, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, man.
Wait, did you two just become best friends?
Ever since I tried his chemical line, yes.
I'm definitely gonna have to try and use it on my bike.
I'm using his product F-bomb at 5-to-1, parts 5-bomb, 1 part like a large part of water.
Right.
And I laid it on as a bug. Like I minimum scrubbing to get the bugs off.
Right.
Turned around and used that on the carpets and blasted it off with a power washer and just watched all the dirt just run right out of the carpet. It was just amazing.
So you're saying it's fantastic product. Where can we find this fantastic product? I'm trying to teach you how to lead a show, Johnny.
Yeah, I was going to let Billy answer that because I know Billy has a couple of distributors that he just announced. If you want to go through that, Billy.
Say that one more time, John.
So if you want
Where can we find your product, Billy?
You can find it at American Detailer.
Oh, you cut out.
We got to cut out again.
And here in a couple of weeks. Okay.
One more time.
You can find products at AmericanDetailerGarage.com.
And then auto.
Is it our signal?
Could be.
Are you on the Wi-Fi, Johnny?
Yeah, it's Facebook Messenger.
Yeah, I'm on your Wi-Fi. Yes.
Yeah, you're on the studio Wi-Fi.
Yeah. But
I'm on Wi-Fi.
Okay, for some reason
we got 2 bars of signal though. So
2 bar. Oh, move it. I was going to say move it over closer.
Your Wi-Fi keeps cutting in and out. Though.
Oh, okay.
He might have to go without the Wi-Fi. It keeps cutting in and out here because it's doing it for me.
There.
Just pass it over to Hammer, please.
Oh, we got the cables. The cable's long enough. Okay.
No.
But yeah, you can find that at AmericanDetailerGarage.com as well as a few other distributors. I know Autofiber.com is another one, and Audacity. Autoality.
Is that a .com as well,
Yep.
or okay, cool. I'm definitely and I take Johnny's word like when it comes to cars and stuff. I take Johnny's word as gold sometimes when it comes to cars. That is, and I'm definitely going to look into getting some. I mean, damn, it sounds like a great, fantastic time, especially since you're saying you're cutting power washers with it.
Yeah, I'm cutting dilutions.
You're cutting. Sorry, I said that incorrectly. You're cutting it in with your power washer.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I'm using spraying it on, kind of scrubbing it in.
So you're saying it's like a universal thing.
It's very universal and very affordable. So
we gotta get some of that. We gotta get some of that. Maybe. Nah, I won't say that on air.
So really, what got you started into this whole thing? Like, what kind of tripped your trigger about detailing? Because these guys tend to give me a hard time because I spent like 2 to 3 hours cleaning my car at a car show
during a fucking broadcast.
As far as detailing goes, getting into detailing,
yeah.
Well, I mean, the only way I know to do is just to come out and be honest with you. And I don't come from much. I don't come from much at all. My first car, I had to buy my first car. Nothing was ever given to me. My first car was a cheap clunker. And later on in life, I had bought a nice truck that, was nice to me. It was a 95 Dodge Dakota, and this was in 97. And I really enjoyed just trying to keep it clean, keep it nice. I'd worked for it and was paying for it, by myself. And some other people noticed what I was doing. They were like, well, can you make my car look like that? You're going to rub the paint off of it kind of thing. So I would start washing and waxing cars for other people to make money. And then later on, I got involved with the dealership. And, I've been in about every sector of the industry. I've worked in the body shops. I've worked into the auction houses. I've worked in the production shops. I've worked doing high-end retail work, multi-step paint corrections and coatings. And it all came, one door opened up to another door, that opened up to another door, that opened up to another door. That's really how it happened. But it all started with me just taking pride in my own vehicle and going over my own car. Today, I take pride in teaching people how to do that and get great results while remaining profitable at the same time. But technology has come a long way in the last 20 years, let's be honest. It's a lot easier.
Yep, definitely.
So, okay, you said you teach people. Is there like a do you do classes, a forum, webisode, webinar, anything like that, or how do you teach people? I'm curious.
Well, I've done a few podcasts, but I have American Detailer Garage, which is my Facebook closed group, and in there I'll do a lot of videos explaining things or showing a system that I use or an approach to a problem, how to fix it. We like just solving problems, but that's where I do most of the videos at. So I have a YouTube channel, but I haven't done much on the YouTube thing yet. I prefer to keep it in-house where only the guys in-house can get that. I call it get that knowledge like it's something special. But, you know, if it helps you out,
well, it depends on the teacher. I mean, if you got a special teacher, you got special knowledge. My apologies for interrupting.
Well, speaking of special teachers, you know, I kind of have a...
No, you're fine.
No, I'm not talking about Hammer being that special. His bust was actually normal length. My question is for you, sir. You know, we've heard about your shop. We've heard about your cleaners. I've seen the evidence of your cleaners because I stopped by Attention for Detail earlier this week, and odds are I'll be stopping by there again at the end of the month because my Banshee kind of needs a little love.
Payday is something.
Yeah. You know, we kind of want to know a little more about you. What do you like to do outside of your shop?
No, back up. Back up, because we have he did mention something that I wanted to capitalize on. He said he had a beater with a heater for his first car. I'm curious on what that beater with a heater was.
Mm-hmm.
So, Billy, sorry, I just
got to hear you. What'd you say?
I said you said your first car was a beater with a heater. I'm kind of curious on what that was for your first car that you owned. And it cut out again, didn't it?
Yeah.
I think so.
You know, we could just have him...
The red there, and I lost you for a second.
Ah, there it is.
Yeah, there we go.
Can you hear me now? God, I hate Verizon. You mentioned that you had a beater with a heater for your first car. I was kind of curious as of the specs on that first car. What year, what model, maker, and all that good stuff.
Well, that particular car, the first car I ever had was a 1988 Pontiac Le Mans. Single stage red paint.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And it was my mom's car at one time. It faded out to pink.
Yep.
And she goes, I'm going to have this guy buff it out. I'm like, okay. So she takes it to some body shop. And they buff it out. It comes back. It's beautiful red. And I'm like, how'd they do that? You know? And I was obsessed with that. I must have been, I had to have been around 16, 17 at the time.
Okay.
And so I wanted to learn how in the world did you take pink paint and make it red? You know,
lots of elbow
so
grease.
that was, I guess, the beginning of. Yeah, well, they buffed the car out. You know, probably used the rotary. I don't know exactly what they did. I know where the body shop is today, but they probably cut it down with a rotary, you know, and finished it out, much like we do today, but with different tools and machines. You know, we're going back 22 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Thank you for sharing. I'm always curious on how, who, what, where, when, and why, especially when the beginnings are there.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of the beginnings, you know, I kind of want to talk about...
Oh, yeah. No, that's cool.
He's got it, dude. We got probably about a 3.5 second delay sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
So my apologies for that.
No, it's cool. It's
And Billy.
No, we kind of want to know a little bit more about Billy outside of the shop because, you know, we've seen the evidence of your work. My car is going to get the evidence of your work.
Oh, no, I got so many detailer questions right now. They just hit me.
All right, fine. Well,
because I know him and Johnny shared a few with us for detailing.
Him and Johnny could have a closed, dark room for a couple of hours with soft Barry White playing. All right.
It was because Johnny shared wow.
There would be buffing involved.
That took me a second. No, the question I was gonna there's another one. It's like worst. What was it? Car detailing horror stories.
Mm-hmm.
You actually wanted as a segment on this show, so.
Yeah, it was in light of recent events, really. I found a dildo in a customer's car. And that kind of spawned what would be what's the worst thing that you've found in a car?
Or at least, you know, a particular horror story.
When it comes to detail.
An H.
American Automotive Horror Story?
A horror story. Man, there's been so many of them. Trying to think of one that stands out. A long time ago, I guess probably one of the worst ones. I was doing
Sorry.
dealer car. This is probably 12 years ago. It was a Dodge Ram. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Oh,
you're good. You're good. You're good.
It's my fault. Go ahead.
Did I lose you?
No, you're good.
Okay. All right. So it's probably the worst one I can think of was a dealer car I did about 12 years ago, and it was a Dodge Ram, and they used it for construction where they piled like 8 Mexicans in there and used it as a construction truck. So you can
You're from Kentucky.
what it looked like, and
How'd you figure?
that's the story, man. That's the story I got. So
8
long
Mexicans in a
story-
truck.
Sorry. Let him talk.
yeah,
Let him
it's
talk.
good.
Sorry, Billy.
It was,
Go ahead.
It was a dealer job, and I was just getting started in the dealer stuff, So I was, you're good. I was taking everything that I could, all the jobs that I could take. So, but I ended up pulling the carpets and seats and everything out of this truck and just pressure washing them. I basically cleaned the whole inside of this truck out, laid it on the ground, and pressure washed the whole damn thing. It was one of the last vehicles I did for that particular lot because it just, even back then, 12, 13 years ago, it wasn't something I wanted to be known for doing. It wasn't, hell, driving a truck was much easier than that. If you're doing something on the side, it should be easier, more profitable, But that's probably the biggest horror story that I can think of, besides the one I just got done with last weekend, a botched coating job for a local detailer that completely screwed up a brand new Toyota Tundra, black.
Ooh.
Completely screwed it up, and I had to fix it, and I still haven't been paid for that, but there'll be more on that later on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so
You okay there, Johnny?
a little bit. Yeah, I mean that's
All the blood seems to be rushing from one head to another. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, just the coatings are another thing that is coming, just big to the market, really. Are you looking at getting into the coatings, Billy, or are you just going to stay on the versatility of the cleaning products?
Yeah, I was talking to Jason Kilmer earlier. I don't know if you guys don't know who Jason Kilmer is. He's probably one of the top 3 detailers in the world, and a very good friend of mine, and we were talking about that exact topic, probably an hour ago. But we were talking more in terms of abrasives, and I said, I'm not really interested in releasing abrasives to the market. I'm not really interested in releasing coatings to the market. I think what I'm concerned with or most interested in is trying to show people how to make money quickly, effortlessly. You can take a vehicle, clean it up, send it to the customer, and they're happy with it. The coating market is a completely different world. It can create more headaches than profit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I like what
So
I like what you said there in one of your videos. You said that the shine will last long enough to cash a check.
Oh, that's always a good day.
Well, a lot of people coming into the industry, they want, if I can put something in your hand that works now and makes you profitable now, then coatings might be something that comes later on down the road. I'm not a huge fan of coatings, but if we could put something in your hand that makes money, like, so for instance, me, when I close my shop at night, I want to be Billy. I don't want to be a detailer. I just want to be me. I want to do what it is I do. I want to go eat. I want to have family activity. I want to do things like that. Detailing exists for me, and there is a passion there, but detailing exists for me solely to provide an income.
Yep.
Nowadays, there was a day and a time that it wasn't that way, that I, was just in love with every bit of it. Nowadays, I want to step back and I want to do other things. So nowadays, while it's still a passion, it's just an opportunity to earn another income for me. And if I can teach other people that first, if you can learn income first, passion second, I think you'll be better off.
Yeah, see, that's something that I'm kind of worried about. Is like detailing is my passion, and I don't want to lose that. So I mean, on one hand, I understand detailing is a job and it's going to get me money, or I can make money at it. I understand that, but it's that's one thing that I kind of is in the back of my mind all the time. Is how long can I go at this without losing that passion? Is that something that you ran into at all?
Not at all. No, not at all. No, you won't. I mean, if you'll know in your heart if this is a calling for you, if this is where you're supposed to be, you'll know in your heart. And I talk sometimes when I do the videos, I talk about flipping a switch in my head. So, I just did a 2016 Corvette here a couple weeks ago, and that was a correction job, a correction and seal job. It wasn't a car lot. But in my head, I'm able to turn the switch in my head mentally and differentiate the difference between what kind of detail I do for the car lots and what kind of detail I do for retail customers. Obviously, there's a big price difference as well. No, I don't think you would lose the passion, but you will lose more money. Which, if you're losing money and you're not profitable, it's going to eat at that passion very quickly.
Right.
And some guys do that, and they're busting their tail. They're married, they got kids, they love what they're doing, but they spend so much time trying to detail cars that the wife ain't happy. They're not being the right husband they're supposed to be because they're spending so much time, and it's just knowing where to spend that time. Now, if you're doing your own car, time really isn't a factor. But when you're detailing for money, you got a shop rate in your mind of how much you need to make ends meet. When you get a car, you have to figure out how many hours I can spend on that car to be profitable.
Right.
And sometimes you got to cut corners, you got to do certain things to turn a profit. And these are all things that we'll do more videos about. But my passion today is really more in showing people different ways of making money and easier ways of detailing cars so that they can spend more doing what it is they love. If you love detailing cars, then we want to help create more time for you to detail cars.
Right. And I think our geek here had wanted to know, like, what do you do outside of work? Like, I seen, you have a range in your backyard or something?
Yeah, every once in a while. Yeah, I'm a big gun enthusiast. Every once in a while, I go out there and fire rounds off. But, I'm probably the most boring person.
Well, we got
is all I do.
We got a couple of vets in studio here as well. Gary Hammer, we have Tony here, are both vets, and they're gun nuts too. So what kind of toys are in your arsenal there?
Right on, brothers. Right on. Well, I'm a big fan of F&H. My best friend, we lost him a couple of years ago. He was, my closest friend. He was the big F&H guy. So I have the Star 17, Star Heavy, and I got the F&X 45 Tactical. I got a couple of those. I've got some SIGs. I like my SIG pistols. I like my SIG 1911, a couple of Springfield 1911s, a couple of SIG rifles, and then my old trusty Remington 700 sniper rifle.
There you go.
Tony here was actually a sniper as well.
Absolutely awesome. You guys are rock stars, man. I'm telling you what, we should be interviewing you guys, okay? I wish I had more time because I want to learn. I'm not a sniper. I would love to learn more about those things, the long range firing, and targets and all that cool stuff. And I think outside of detailing, if I had another passion, it would be that. I just don't have the time for it right now.
Yeah, it takes a long, long time to actually get to learn all the mathematical equations to actually hit that shot at 1,000 plus.
Oh yeah, clicks and all this other stuff. And
yep.
Jason and I used to really go in deep, into that before he passed away and before I got, as busy as I am now. But he was knowledgeable with that stuff like I am detailing. And I lost a lot of the things he told me. I wasn't able to retain all of it in my head. But if I ever get some free time again, man, I really want to get involved. I like to suppress the holographic sights you can put on there. And just throw some lead down range. And whenever I get a chance, I try to do that.
What kind of a scope do you actually have on your Remington 700?
What kind of a what?
Scope.
On my Remington?
Yeah. Do you know what size optic it has?
I'll tell you. Man. The scope on the Remington is a Vortex.
Okay.
It's the Vortex Diamondback, and it's a 412 by 40.
Okay, so you got a 40 millimeter reticle. So you may be able to hit at 1,000 yards with that. You might have to go to a 50 or a 60, because you need at least a 35-foot height in the reticle to actually be able to hit that.
Hey, we're cutting that again.
I said you're going to need at least a 35-foot height of a reticle to actually see it. So you need probably a 50 or 60 millimeter front.
I think he cut out.
Anyway, I can get you. I can probably, if you want to talk to Tony here more about that, I can probably give you his contact information.
Oh yeah, Tony and I need to talk. No doubt, no doubt about it.
Right. All right. Well, I want to say thanks for joining us, Billy. I understand your time's valuable, and so we just want to say thanks for being a part of the Blown Pistons today, and we'll let you go.
And, anytime you ever want back, please let us know. We'll be glad to have you.
Awesome, guys. Yeah, thank you for having me on. If there's ever any time you want me on there or something I can contribute to, I'd be more than happy to anytime.
Will do. Thanks, Billy.
All right, have a good day, sir.
All right, guys. Have a great day. Thank you. All right.
Alrighty then. And that's our guest for the day. And it kind of seems like really that's our day. I mean, besides NASCAR news.
Yeah, I think Dave wanted to announce who's in the chase for the NASCAR Cup. Or the Monster Energy Cup.
Yeah, he always does. And I guess, for your top 5, we've got Kyle Larson, Joey Logano, Ryan Newman, Kurt Busch, and Denny Hamlin.
No, Brad. Ha 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 ha, Dave.
Yeah, Keselowski got knocked out yesterday.
Ha ha, Dave.
He came in, I think, 8th or 9th.
And then Kenseth got taken out, too.
Yeah, by an ambulance or something like that. Yeah, that's all right. I haven't watched NASCAR in so long, and honestly, I really don't miss it. Like, I ain't got time to sit around and watch it no more. So
Sure you do.
Well, it's just like the eclipse. I'm like, my opinion on the eclipse was, well, I got fucking work to do.
I couldn't see it up here anyways. It was too cloudy.
Yeah, it was.
Day.
It was a bit vapey outside.
Oh, just a little bit vapey.
But yeah, I gotta thank Hammer for these Axios here from Life Advantage. So check out Gary Hammer for Life Advantage. Very good stuff and very alert. Very.
Yeah, Gremlins, shut it. If you guys want to if you want to talk about this, you can fucking call in, all right? I'm just going off of what the website says, so eat a dick. Matter of fact, here, I'll hand you a bag. You can have dealer's choice on it.
Eat a bag of dicks. God, I love that from the comedian Brad.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, if you're getting offended for another person, fuck you. Eat a bag of dicks.
No. I said I'll hand him the bag. He can have dealer's choice. But you know what? Since he's trying to call me out on fucking the animal or the barnyard in our chat room, you know what? He can now eat 2.
Hey, you know what? I got a used brown one in the trash of my shop.
That's really gross.
It is. It's
it was probably black.
He agreed. He will now. He'll eat 2 dicks.
Oh.
2? He has 2 hands.
Yeah.
Double fisted.
Go skiing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a good dream?
It was a little wet.
I thought,
not my show. I got to keep remembering this is not my show. Not my show. Not my show.
I thought David's teeth were looking a little white.
So, folks, if you like what you're hearing, if you want to be a guest on our beautiful show, please do not hesitate. Go to our Facebook. Find us all over social media. Our website, badhabitsnetwork.net. God, I love that. We have our beautiful Johnny from Attention for Detail LLC, another website I made.
AttentionForDetail.com. Check it out.
Mm-hmm. We have our beautiful Tiff and the lovely Tony.
I'm hotter than all of you.
And our Hammer trying to Wayne's World it back down. What's he doing?
Where's that cord?
Oh, do we have another special guest?
Yeah, we have another special guest.
Oh, we have another special guest joining us.
He got that just in time.
He's pissed.
Bringing up.
Sounds like a Dave.
We're gonna get it.
Bringing up another.
What'd you do?
What up there, Helmo?
Oh no!
Hi, Dave.
It's the great dick eater himself.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi, Dave.
Am I on?
Yes.
All right, you guys are fucking this all up. All right.
Well, Dave.
Yeah, well, you can be in studio next time, bitch.
Truex is first. Larson is second. Kyle Busch is third. I think Brad is sitting 4th or 5th in the chase standings. Joey Logano got knocked out yesterday because he didn't finish good enough.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Do you feel better, Dave?
What site are you looking at?
Their website.
Google update.
Pornhub.com. We thought that's where you got all your NASCAR
I
news,
can't even
Dave.
hear Johnny.
That's just a whole different pole position, buddy.
Oh, my God.
That's straight from
I
the
leave you guys
website.
in charge for one time, and look what happens.
Yeah, we do better than you. We actually have our guests stay on, and we're not gushing all over him. Well, Johnny might be.
Hey, y'all.
Rugby.
Yeah, I can barely hear you guys.
Really?
Turn your mic
Yeah,
up.
you can hear fine. Everybody else sounds like they're 100 miles away.
Weird.
Oh, well, that's on
I
you.
can barely hear me.
I hear me.
Dave.
Huh. But
I'm the
yeah,
only one that's important, so that's fine. No, I'm
So-
just kidding.
Bitch.
Your glory boy made it in, huh?
yeah, it sucks that I had to miss the show, but
Well, way to go, Dave.
family first. That's one of our rules.
Rule 2.
Happens.
Yep. But I just wanted to call and straighten that out since, apparently nobody can look up NASCAR but me.
Well, hey, we thought your source was Pornhub.com.
2 poles,
What'd he
1
say?
cup.
He said he thought your source was Pornhub.com.
Ah, yeah, you'll have that. But, all right, guys, I just wanted to call and check in and just let you know how fucked up you were on that. And
Thank you. I'm glad we
Hey, no.
we made you proud. No, I'm just kidding.
Tell Dave I said thanks for the download.
He said thanks for the
Yeah.
download.
all right, you guys have fun. Good luck.
Bye,
Take it easy,
Dave.
Dave.
Bye.
All right, sweetheart. And now that we're not interrupted again,
All right.
if you like what you hear, if you want to hear more, if you want to be a part of it, please do not hesitate. Like us, share us, subscribe. Go to badhabitsnetwork.net. Hell, just Google Bad Habits Network, you lazy fuckers. So,
With that being said, I think we're gonna call that the show for today. I want to say thank you to
Pizza's here.
everybody that.
Nom nom nom.
oh fuck, I'm clicking end right now.
Fuck it, let's go.
Bye.